Everyone loves to save money, so if you want to save some money on a new EV today, stick around. Welcome back to Northern EV. Way back in 2021, I did a video covering all the rebates available in Canada as part of the IZEF program. Then in 2022, nothing really happened other than Tesla Model 3 going up in price and wasn't eligible anymore. So other than that, nothing happened. So I didn't do a follow-up video. But now, the government tweaked the program just a little bit. The Model 3 is back in and some other exciting Tesla news. So let's get right into it. I'll cover the change, I'll cover what happened, so you get the most bang for your buck, save some money, which is what matters the most. All this info is sourced directly from the government, so you know it's reliable, and it's up to date as of May 2023. First, I just want to talk about some quick stats about the program thus far. Since its inception in 2019, a total of 195,000 vehicles have been purchased with a rebate worth a combined value of $855 million. Now, I found varying numbers on exactly how much is left and how long it will last, which is supposedly till March 31st, 2025, when the contract runs out. The most popular brand is, of course, Tesla, with 48,000 vehicles sold, and that's even with about a year of ineligibility. So second is Hyundai at 36,000, and then third with Toyota at 25,000. So let's talk about the changes to the federal IZEF program that have gone into effect earlier this year. Now, they aren't earth-shattering, but here's a Coles Notes version. The federal rebate still stands at a point-of-sales incentive of up to $5,000 for consumers who buy or lease an EV. Currently, all pure electric and hydrogen fuel cell vehicles qualify for the full amount, as do plug-in electric hybrids. The update is now that the hybrid has to be able to travel more than 50 kilometers without using their gas engine, which was different before because it's based on the size of the battery. If they cannot do that mileage, then you're only getting $2,500. Customers only get the $5,000 if they buy a qualified vehicle outright or lease it for up to 48 months. The sum drops to $3,750 and $2,500 for a 36 and 24-month lease respectively, while a 12-month lease will net you $1,250. If you are getting a plug-in hybrid and you have the max amount of $2,500, then those numbers will drop by the same percentages for short-term leases as well. So the price of the car is what determines if that vehicle qualifies for the rebate. A passenger car must offer a base model with an MSRP of less than $55,000 and higher price trims of the same vehicle up to a maximum of $65,000 to be eligible for purchase incentives. So that means you can buy the higher end model, but the base model has to be less than $55,000, which is why the Model 3 is now back in available, because they just lowered the price to $54,990, squeaking just under that $55,000 threshold. Breaking news just in. Tesla dropped the price of the Model 3 long range to $64,990, which means it also qualifies for the federal rebate. This is huge. A crossover pickup truck, SUV, or minivan needs to have a base model of less than $60,000. Higher price trims of the same model may have a maximum of $70,000, which is not a lot of wiggle room, but they have increased. That's one of the changes from this year. So the even bigger news from Tesla that I was talking about is now, thanks to that change, and now that they've introduced a cheaper rear-wheel drive version of the Model Y at, you guessed it, $59,990, you can now get a long-range Model Y and be eligible for the $5,000 rebate. I said earlier that the program is supposed to run till March 2025, but apparently there's only about $155 million left, which is only good for about 35,000 cars, which does not seem like a lot, especially with the Model 3 being added back, as well as now the Model Y, which is the 4th best-selling car in the entire world. So those funds may dry up quickly, and we don't know yet if it'll get topped up, if it'll get extended. So if you're thinking about taking advantage of this rebate, you better hurry up. Let's dive into some provincial stats which highlight some uncomfortable truths. Not surprisingly, Quebec leads all provinces with 46% of sales, yet they only have 23% of the population. Could it have anything to do with a huge provincial rebate? Next up is BC at 40% of rebates, and they only have 13% of the population. Funny enough, they also have a pretty attractive rebate. Another stat in the not shocking category, the most populous province in Canada, my home province of Ontario, which makes up 38% of the population, only managed to pull in 9% of the rebates. Are you listening, Ontario? Let's get into the specifics of the rebates by province. Now, I just want to mention that there's also local government and utility incentives, mainly for home charging. Obviously, there's way too many to cover in this video, so be sure to do your research for your local area. Out east, since, well, they are generally an afterthought in Canadian minds, and, well, they deserve a break from all the newfie jokes. More importantly, as a region, the East Coast has some of the better rebates in the country. You can save $2,500 on the purchase or lease of a 100% all-electric vehicle and $1,500 for a plug-in hybrid. The rebate is an initiative of the government of Newfoundland and Labrador and is administered by Newfoundland Hydro. Rebates are available to eligible individuals, businesses, non-for-profit organizations, or municipalities in the province. Vehicles are eligible through the purchase or lease, a minimum of 48 months, of a new 100% all-electric vehicle or plug-in hybrid. A pre-owned all-electric vehicle or plug-in hybrid also qualifies under those guidelines, which is pretty cool. Nova Scotians can get themselves $3,000 if they purchase a qualifying electric vehicle or long-range plug-in hybrid, as defined by the federal APPAREL program, which I mentioned earlier. Short-range plug-in hybrids will also net $2,000, and used cars are not left out either, with second-hand electric cars priced from $10,000 to $55,000 eligible for a $2,000 rebate, and plug-in hybrids with a range of $10,000 to $40,000 good for a $1,000 rebate. Next, we move on to Prince Edward Island, which is the smallest province but still has a good EV program. The government of PEI is providing $5,000 to Islanders who purchase a new or used EV. Also on offer is $2,500 for those who buy a plug-in hybrid. In addition, Islanders who utilize the incentive, both electric vehicle and plug-in hybrid, will receive a free Level 2 charger. Islanders will be responsible for all installation costs associated with charging infrastructure, and only one charger will be given per household. Still out east, New Brunswick, programs administered by Plug-in New Brunswick provide electric vehicle rebates for new and used electric vehicles. Sums and criteria precisely mirror that of the ISEF program, which is $5,000 for a new electric vehicle or long-range plug-in hybrid on a purchase or 48-month lease, $2,500 on a short-range plug-in hybrid under the same terms, and proportioned rebates for shorter-term leases on those cars as well, just like the ISEF. The plug-in New Brunswick also provides $2,500 for a used electric vehicle selling for between $10,000 and $60,000, or $1,000 on a used plug-in hybrid topping out at $10,000 or less. Quebec, la belle province, is known for its rapid EV adoption, partially driven by these rebates, but also supported by robust public infrastructure. If you've been to Montreal, I'm sure you've seen all the street-level charging, which is awesome. I was there last summer. It's amazing to see. All new electric vehicles with an MSRP less than $60,000 qualify for $7,000 from the government, while long-range and short-range plug-in hybrids are good for $5,000 and $2,500 respectively. Again, with sticker price just below $60,000. The eligible list of new vehicles is similar to the ISEV with a few notable differences, including a couple of Tesla models. The rebate for a qualifying used electric vehicle is $3,500. Sadly, after Quebec, we gotta skip over half the country, over Ontario and all the prairie provinces. We find BC though, and their rebate program, which has a unique twist compared to all the others which we previously examined. Cars with a maximum MSRP of $55,000 and larger vehicles, so wagons, minivans, SUVs, all that stuff, priced up to $70,000 may qualify. However, the province also considers an individual's income when determining total rebates, which is very smart. If applicants make less than $80,000 per year, the rebate is $4,000. Extending one's income to $90,000 has that rebate to $2,000. Making up 6 figures of annual income cuts the rebate to just $1,000. Anyone making over $100,000 per annum is simply out of luck, which I think is a sensible approach and would alleviate a lot of the pushback that was seen in Ontario by the government. So from BC, let's head up north to the Yukon. Yes, the Yukon. Despite the propensity of cold temperatures to take a bite out of battery range, the Northern Territory is encouraging the adoption of EVs, which is very good. To qualify, pickup trucks must have an MSRP of below $70,000 for the base trim model, while all other vehicles types need to bear a sticker of less than $60,000 for entry-level trim. Similar to the federal program, pure electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids with an electric range of 50 kilometers qualify for $5,000 rebate, as well as hydrogen fuel cell cars. Plug-in hybrids with a range of less than 50 kilometers can take $3,000 from the government. All right, so that concludes our trip across Canada. As you can see, some provinces really excel and really are pushing for EV adoption, while others, Ontario, are kind of lacking behind. I love that BC option where it's based tied to your income. That could really work well in Ontario, hopefully one day soon. So if there are any other tweaks or updates to this rebate, if they're small ones, I will update the description. So check down below for the most updated information. Until next year, we'll probably do another video. Unless something major happens where you run out of money or extended, I'll update it with a new video. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe, as it really helps the channel grow and helps me push out better content. And also check out my merch store. You get t-shirts like this one. This is a diagram of EV battery pack, and there's tons more. So check it out below. There's tons. Go to the store, buy one today. All right. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week. Electric vehicle or long-range plug-in hybrid as defined by the federals, as I went over. Prince Edward Island, even the smallest nation, half the country, over Ontario and all the prairie provinces. We find BC, though, with their rebuild. The most popular brand is Tesla, obviously, with $48,000. SPAR. Since its inception. All right, so sticking. So the biggest factor, if where you're so the price of the car less than six. I said earlier. So I said earlier that. So I said earlier that. I said earlier. I didn't do a follow-up video, but now I can. So today.